Trust is the foundation of good governance. Without it, policies and structures mean very little. Over the past month, we've been talking a lot about authenticity in leadership, showing up with transparency, empathy, and integrity. Today, I want to extend that conversation to governance and the role that trust plays in shaping effective, mission-driven organizations. When we think of governance, we often picture policies, oversight, and compliance. And yes, those matter, but at its core, governance is about relationships between board members, leadership, staff, and stakeholders. Without trust, even the best governance structures won't function as they should. When trust is strong, board members and leadership teams engage more openly, have more productive discussions, and make better decisions. Transparency is what builds credibility. It reassures stakeholders that the organization is operating with integrity. Relational accountability strengthens leadership, shifting governance from just oversight to a shared commitment to mission and values. But let's be real, building trust in governance isn't easy. Unlike staff teams that interact daily, boards often just meet a few times a year. And with many meetings moving virtual, we're losing the informal touch points that can help build relationships. Those casual conversations before and after meetings, the little moments that reinforce trust over time. So, how do we embed relational accountability into governance when the structure itself isn't always built for relationship building? There are a few ways to do this. First, organizations need to make time for relationship building. This could mean scheduling formal check-ins, warming up your meeting with a short team building activity, board retreats, or even smaller working groups that allow board members to engage more regularly. Next, we have to embed relational expectations into our governance practices. Trust building shouldn't just be a nice to have. It should be a defined part of how governance operates. And finally, we need to ensure that governance outlasts leadership transitions. Board leaders change, executive leadership shifts, and those transitions can either strengthen or weaken the organization's culture of trust and transparency. We explored some of these ideas in the January 21st Ethica Insights post called Navigating Board Dynamics with a People First Approach. If you haven't read it yet, check it out. One of the most important trust building relationships in governance is between the chief staff officer and the chief elected officer. When this partnership is strong, built on trust, mutual respect, and clear expectations, it sets the tone for the entire governance culture. But when this relationship lacks alignment, when communication is unclear or trust is missing, it creates friction that ripples through the whole organization. So, how do we set this relationship up for success? First, regular, candid check-ins are key. Governance works best when these two leaders take the time to align and course correct as needed. Second, clarifying roles and shared goals early on helps avoid assumptions. When trust is built through clear expectations, both leaders can operate with confidence in their roles. And finally, demonstrating partnership to the board is critical. If the board sees a strong working relationship between these two, it reinforces a governance culture based on trust and collaboration. Navigating relational governance isn't easy though. Not everyone will naturally get along. Different personalities and leadership styles will clash, and sometimes values and priorities won't fully align. But when trust is strong, those challenges don't have to derail the work. They can become part of the process. So, as you reflect on your governance structure, ask yourself, are you making time for relationship building? Are you ensuring that trust outlasts board transitions? How can you strengthen trust in governance starting today? Let's continue this conversation in this week's blog post. Thanks for watching.